Good morning. Oh my gosh, if you live in the Northeast, go outside today because it's absolutely beautiful out. I want to talk about procrastination and the part of us that wants to do something and the other part of us, or multiple parts of us, that prevent us from doing those things. And what gets churned up that only adds to the difficulty and the struggle of completing something in that whole inner conversation between multiple parts of ourselves. So if you are with me, what is it that you really just want to do that you find yourself not doing? What is it that you keep putting off? And it seems like something that you really do want to do. There's no part of you that's feeling like this is something that you would be fine if it didn't happen, right? It's like this is something that's important to you and still it's not getting done. So what is it? What is that thing that you find yourself procrastinating on? Is it part of your business? Good morning, Sherry. We're talking about procrastination. Autumn, hey. And just trying to find that balance, what we can do to really support ourselves to do that thing that we keep putting off. So what is that thing for you? Is my first question. Go ahead and pop it in the comments, because I want to help you get to the place where you can actually move through it. I notice that a lot of times when I'm working with a client in my Ruby program, in any of my programs, there's that frustration with the self. There's that annoyance, that level of just like, God, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just do this? Like, I know how to do it. I know that I want to do it, but I'm not doing it. And I can't figure out why. So, first of all, let's go after the voice that sounds like a boot camp instructor. Let's go after that voice that sounds like, if you don't do it, you're going to be punished, or the push, make it happen energy, right? You guys, you hear me talk about, if you follow me on the Instagram, I go live on Instagram almost every day, and I talk a lot about the push versus receive energy, especially for women, and how to navigate and sort of shift your the energy that you are working with yourself from, right? So we can come at things from that push energy, just like, bear down, grit your teeth and push through it. Or we can decide on what we want and make it welcome instead of making it happen. Oh, it's hot. So let's go after the part of you that wants this to be like a boot camp experience, because that served you for a really long time, and we're so grateful that you had that thought in your mind of like, just suck it up and take it, but it's not working anymore, obviously, or you would have been doing it. So thank that voice. Autumn, scheduling my blood work, fear of inadequacy. Good. Okay, so we're gonna use Autumn's example, and if you, there we go, is that better? If you have something that you're putting off, go ahead and comment in the chat so that I can support you. We can really address it and get you moving. So, we've learned to shame ourselves for not doing what we think we should be doing. At one point that served us, it got us motivated. What I want to encourage you and inspire you to do is to release shame as a form of motivation, right? Like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm not doing this. I suck. Sorry, I don't know where the camera is. There. I'm not going to look at it very often, but please know that I'm with you. Now that shame puts you into a new spiral. Hi, Julie. We're talking about motivation and really how to unstuck ourselves and get going. That self-shaming of like, I'm not doing this, and then the story that you tell yourself about yourself. I really want you to tune into that right now. What do you tell yourself about why you're not doing it? Do you say, I must be lazy, I'm immature, is there a part of you that thinks, oh, I must not really want this, or I would be doing it? You know, what's that story that you're telling yourself? Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Julie. Good to see you guys. What's the story that you're telling yourself when you're not moving forward with something that you think you want? And I want you to be so hyper aware of that thought and love it. And now let's shift it. Because here's the deal. If you're not doing something, there's a damn good reason. And when you sit there and when we shame ourselves for it, we are like completely ignoring such an integral, deep part of ourselves that's like trying to communicate with you through this lack of movement. So instead of like overriding it and ignoring it, like society has taught us, I think back to, when I was in school, in grade school, science, science was just this wall of a subject for me. And I couldn't do it. I struggled so hard. And by the grace of who knows, because I don't even know if this is legal, the guidance lady saw my struggle. She saw my body like physically shutting down when I'm sitting there. I wanted so badly to be able to understand science. Like, I remember working so hard and creating outlines and like reading the books and the pages multiple times. And I just couldn't do it. I would not land. I wouldn't be able to understand it. I wouldn't be able to like retrieve things that I had thought I learned. So they allowed me to take a second language and skip science altogether. Now, this was a very different experience of somebody listening to my learning methods or my brain or what my body was capable of and adjusting, not making it mean I'm stupid, not making it mean anything about me other than, okay, science is not for her right now. Let's shift, let's listen. This is not typically the messaging that we get today. So, to just notice the thought, right? That's the first step in awareness training. Notice what you're noticing. And I teach this in Ruby. Really give yourself permission to release that self-shaming. It's not a sustainable form of motivation. Let that go. And instead, really listen and empower yourself to be with what your body is trying to communicate to you. So here's the question that you're going to ask yourself. I know you were expecting like some boot camp, like how to stop procrastinating and just get it done. Here's what we're going to do. Put your nose to the grindstone. But no, that's not what you're getting. That doesn't work. It might work for a little while, but it won't sustain you. And we want sustaining. So you're going to ask, and what is it that you need help with? Comment in the chat. What is it that you're not doing that you're procrastinating on? Let me help you. I am here. You've got me right here. What do you need is the question. I am not doing this. I notice I'm not doing this. I release the self-judgment of that I'm not doing this, and I empower myself to hear the why. What do I need? Autumn. Why am I not getting my blood work? Am I afraid? Do I need support? Do I need to wrap my arms around myself and tell myself that everything's going to be okay? Do I need to let God in? Do I need to ground more and more deeply into myself that I am never, ever alone, that I am always in the arms of the divine, being deeply supported in every moment, completely held and okay in every second, even when I think I'm not. So it's noticing and then saying, okay, if I'm not doing this, there's a good reason. Really validating yourself that you do have a reason. And then listening in for what it is. Like sometimes I come up with a really great new program idea. And we were talking about this yesterday on the Instagram Live with Mary Houlihan, who's just an incredible coach and a very dear friend of mine. When an idea drops in, how do you know when to act on it and how long should you wait? That's what we talked about yesterday. So entrepreneurs, if you have that, if you want any support with that, go and watch that video because it was really good. Sometimes I have a new program idea drop in and I know, like, I can see exactly what I want to do, but I'm not moving forward with it. Who's that? Good morning, Amy. We're talking about procrastination. So is there anything that you're procrastinating on that you wish that you would just friggin' do it? And we're talking about the solution and the steps to take to support you in actually doing it. So when I come up with a program idea, sometimes I just dive in and it's like, it's easy, I make it, it's so fun, like, done. And sometimes I delay or I procrastinate. But here's what I've found. When I procrastinate, it's because there's more ideas that are waiting to drop in. And some part of me knows that. And it's up to my awareness to put my brain at ease and to trust my body. That is no small feat. I mean, it's like, we're so programmed to prioritize the conversation from our brain over our bodies, right? So I've learned that I still do this. I'm still learning. But if I come up with a program idea and I don't just sit down and do it, it's because it's still simmering. It's like instead of a soup, I'm making a stock, like a bone stock, and it needs to sit overnight for a couple of weeks maybe before it's ready to be ingested. All right, hold on. I saw finish my business website and create content to support my business. Brandy, yes. Yes. So Brandy, what I would encourage you to do is to take some time, really carve out time for yourself. Sit down with your journal. If you haven't done, Brandy, I know you were part of Unapologetic Woman, so you did the journaling module. So for those of you who are not aware, we have a private women-only app. It's brcoven.com. It's free, and I have 7 or 8 free video classes in there that I've taught, one of which is the intro to journaling. Brandy, I would encourage you to take some time and sit down and do that module again and allow what's not complete to come forward for you. Really listen to, I'm not doing this. I trust myself and that there's a reason why. And I'm gonna sit down and listen and ask myself, okay, what do you need to feel good about doing this? What do you need to feel ready and prepared to funnel this information? I just gave a blessing to the earth. To funnel this information, through me. And then Kasha, I have to do a major cleanup at work that I'm dreading. Okay, Kasha, what do you need? What do you need? Do you need support? Do you need somebody to help you? Can you allow yourself to receive? Do you need to start envisioning the way it will look at the completion of the cleanup? You know, sometimes if there's something that I kind of am dreading doing, I have to use the vision of the future to motivate me to do it. Knowing how I will feel. This is often also a tool that Justin uses when I really want to eat something that I know is going to upset my stomach. He will be like, you know, unattached. He's so great and supportive. He's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to, go ahead. How will you feel after you eat it? And usually that's enough for me to be like, ugh, fine. I need Jonathan. All right, get Jonathan. See if he wants to come out for a weekend. I'm sure he would love a trip. You never know if you don't ask, right? What else? Is this landing? Are you starting to see like how we're so programmed to beat ourselves up for not doing something when what we're really being asked to do is have more compassion and understanding and to trust that our bodies know? Yeah, there you go, Kosh. Think of it as like a monotonous, not a monotonous, what's the word I'm looking for? It's something that you can do that doesn't take brain energy, right? I can't remember the word for it, but you can really zone out and go into like a trance. Good, I'm so glad. What's your biggest takeaway from this? How are you going to apply this, what you just heard, to your life today? And for those of you who are just joining, is there anything that you want support with? Is there anything that you are not doing that you really wish that you could just fucking do? I brought tea with me today. I'm looking for a flat rock to set up on and drink my tea with you. Kasha. Okay, why? So my question is then, why do we get to the beating up of ourselves and the shaming instead of consciously finding ways to do what we want to do in a way that we want to do it? Okay, great question. So, I can only obviously give you my opinion and thought and experience on this. But I think our society is sculpted in a way that success is judged by how much we do and how much we make. So from this perspective, if you aren't doing what it is that you said you were going to do, as this is the thing that will make you money, right? Brandy's website, Kasha, get your business prepared for the next step, Autumn, having that information which helps you move forward with your family. If we, boy, that would be a good rock for tea, huh? Let's see if I can get up there. If we're judging our success and our success determines our worth, if we're judging our success based on how much we accomplish and achieve, there is that part of us that feels like we have to prove our worth, to prove our place on this earth, to prove our deserving of life, of being here, by how much we're doing. And when our body's trying to communicate to us, hey, can we slow down? the brain gets more engaged and is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if we slow down, we lose self-worth. We lose value. We're not completing enough. We're not successful enough. You know, it's a repatterning, it's a reprogramming. I had to talk about this in one of the lives on Instagram. It's making the decision to define your success differently, to make up, okay, well, what do I decide is success for me? You know, when I talked about waking up with a smile on my face, that's my success. Waking up with a smile on my face, reading every morning with my beloved, building and nurturing and growing our relationship and seeing the evidence of that in our connection, in our deepening level of intimacy, feeling a greater sense of ease in my life every day. This is my level of success. This is how I'm gauging how successful I am in my life. And I think as we start to prioritize what's actually important to us versus what society has told us is important, it becomes easier and easier to listen more deeply to you and your needs. Great question. That makes so much sense. Good. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sometimes Facebook hides questions. It's really strange. Anything else? I'm gonna set up. I'm so excited. Look at this. Look at this rock. So you can stay with me if you want. I'm gonna set up my tea and I'm here if you want to talk, or you can go. Let me see here. Hold on. Facebook decides what they consider relevant. It's so strange. Well, if you asked a question and I didn't answer it, go ahead and ask again. Because if I didn't answer it, it's because I didn't see it. Whoop. This is fun. Okay. Look, we're having tea! Okay. What else? Procrastination-wise. I know. I brought this super cool thing from, where are they? Crimson Lotus tea. It's so cool. So you put your dried leaves in here, and then you put your water in here, and then you spin it, and it drips down. And once it's steeped enough, I'll show you, you spin it the other way. I'm very ready for this, you guys. What else is on your mind? I'm here. I'm here. I love you. I'm here to support you. What's bugging you? It doesn't have to be about procrastination. It could be anything. We're just gals having tea. That's all. How are your relationships? Are you feeling really good about the people in your life? What about your work? Are you pleased? Do you wish it were different? I brought a blanket. Okay. What about your health? How are you feeling in your body? You know, a couple days ago we talked about the body being like feeling like when the body's not working, it's almost like it's betraying us. And how even though we feel like it's not working, it's actually working perfectly. It's a good day for flying. Okay, you ready? Watch. Okay. Now we're gonna let it steep. Oops, that's the wrong lid. Oops, gotta be careful. For the first time using it. So now I'm gonna let it steep, and once it's ready, I can turn it over and let it drip into here. Okay, let's see. Julie, I'm feeling really great about my life right now, and I'm so grateful. Julie, that's so good. I'm pleased. I'm so pleased for you. That's wonderful. Still interested in finding work closer to home. I don't know where to begin. Okay. So, Amy, like the other day, are you working on waking up in gratitude for the job that you have closer to home? And if you are doing that every morning, can I encourage you to add that as a reminder 3 times a day to actually start to resonate with a feeling tone of gratitude, as if it's already here, even though it's not. Hold on, let me see if I can. Okay, that's good. Because what you're doing, you know, the law of manifestation, which is a universal law, you know, we talked about this, just like gravity, you know, it's the science of the universe. Science, I was just talking about how science was something that I couldn't quite grasp in school, and like here I am talking about it now. So when you're thinking about universal law, the universe waits for your signal, and your signal are your thoughts and the images that you conjure up as a result of those thoughts and the emotions that come with them. So the universe uses your thoughts as a signal and thinks, oh, this must be what she wants. This is what she's thinking about. This is what she's focusing on. And it sends it to you, which is why so many people, when I talk to them, are in the same patterns, these same cyclical patterns over and over and over again, because they are sort of stuck in seeing their 3-dimensional world and using that to dictate what they think about. And they're having this perpetual thought of like, oh, I see that I have to drive 2 hours a day. I'm driving 2 hours a day. This sucks. I hate driving 2 hours a day. And then the loop continues. I'm driving 2 hours a day. I'm driving 2 hours a day. What the universe is asking you to do is to do a pattern interrupt, to recognize what's happening in your 3-dimensional world, and to choose to see it the way you want it. Now, this isn't like doing a spiritual bypass. This is literally working in harmony with law. So it's, okay, I see that I'm driving 2 hours a day. I would prefer not to drive 2 hours a day. I would like a job that's closer to home. So you wake up thinking, I'm so happy and grateful, and you feel it in your body as if it's here. Like, oh my gosh, my drive is 20 minutes every day. Like, that's my drive. And so then you begin to resonate at the frequency of the woman who's driving 20 minutes every day. The universe reads that signal and brings you work that's a match for it. So the more that you can rehearse it for yourself, there's the camera. The more that you can rehearse it for yourself, the better, and not the better, I don't like that word, the faster your results will change. Yes, Julie, energy flows where your thoughts go. That's exactly it. All right, now I'm gonna twist this here. I'm gonna pour my tea water into there, and then I'm gonna twist this shut. And I've got my CC Fine teacup. Look. Tea. So good. Isn't it cool? Good, Amy. Good. What else do you want to talk about, you guys? Look how beautiful it is. All right, Kasha. I've been dealing with the changing situation with my child. He's nearly 17 and doesn't need me for everything like when he was younger. Now I try to focus on the amazing person he is and the beautiful opportunities he will have in the future. I'm trying to embrace life transitions instead of worrying or being sad. So I'm not a parent, right? But I'm gonna offer some ideas, and as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm not attached to anything landing. I just want to offer ideas, even if those ideas only lead you to the idea that does work, if that makes sense. Kasha, I think in this experience of a child turning into an adult and no longer needing you as much as they did, or in the same way, I'm going to say, because I think there's still the same level of need, it's just different. I think it's really appropriate to grieve. There's that part of you that said, like, I'm trying not to, how did you word it? I'm trying to embrace the transition instead of worry or being sad. I think that it's a really appropriate time for you to allow yourself to have some grieving around this and not to do a spiritual bypass. Because here's the thing, when we have emotions and we try to sort of push them down, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but when we try to sort of push them down or shove them down and not give them the space and the air to breathe, it's like you're trying to sort of drown something, and it's just going to kick and scream and get louder until you listen. My sense is that the dismissal of our emotions is what causes disease in the body. I think that emotions will have their time. They will be heard, they will be seen, and the more we resist, the louder they become and the more they struggle. So I think it's a really important thing to give yourself the time to grieve this shift, like you said, the transition. My value has previously been linked to fulfilling his needs. Yeah. And to go deeper in that self-value and to recognize that your value, your inherent value is evidenced by the fact that you woke up today. Because not everybody did. And you can't wake yourself up. Which means, as my mentor says, Felicia Searcy, that some divine creative power woke you up today because it decided you were needed to live this day. Untied to anything else, your breath alone indicates your worth and your value. And to just keep going deeper and deeper with that knowing, untying and untangling your value to what we were just talking about, the levels of success, or, the fulfillment of your child or somebody else. I know a lot of women struggle with the fulfillment of everybody in their family, and they're tied to recognizing their self-worth is like, well, if everybody's happy, then I've done a good job, that's my value. To just keep going deeper, those deeper layers. Kasha says, now I see I have more to offer as a human being and not simply a cook and cleaner and caregiver. Yes, so much. There are a lot of planes today, you guys. Thanks for asking that, Kasha. I feel like that's going to serve. If that served you, go ahead and put a comment in just to let us know. I think that would serve a lot of people. Also, CC Fine Tea is just this incredible tea company in Seattle. If you like tea, you need to check them out. They are so incredible. I love and adore them. Jason is the tea master and the owner of the company. He's just so lovely. Whenever I'm in Seattle, I always go and take a visit, and we have tea, and it's like my most favorite thing. Having tea with a tea master is quite an experience. Oh, good, Kash. Kasha says, it's a great position to be in, and you have helped me so much on this journey. I'm so glad. Kash, I was thinking of you in the beginning of this live because I was talking about outlines. Were you here for that? Kasha is my older cousin, and she taught me how to make outlines when I was in school. And look it, and we're steeping. Oops. Hold on. Okay. So I have a funny story. Good, Kash. I have a lazy eye. Julia. Oh, great. So I have a lazy eye, and when I was a kid, they would both go out. I can actually like make it go out now. So there's that one, and there's that one. Which really freaks people out. I think it's hilarious. And when I was little, my parents took me to the eye doctor, and they gave me all these like muscle tests and like different exercises to do that would really help me build the muscle in the eye so that when it went out, I could bring it back in. And the doctor, you know, the way that the brain receives information, when one eye goes out, the brain can only process one image at a time. So when an eye is lazy, it literally cuts information off, and it doesn't send the signal to the brain because you don't have the capacity to see two different images, right? You have to be looking at the same thing, and that creates the clear picture for the brain. So when my eye would go out, I didn't know it. And so the doctor was like, well, you need to start like bringing it to her attention that her eye is going out. And so they would yell because like just totally out of love, they would be like, Becky, 2 eyes. Becky, 2 eyes. And they would yell at me, Becky, 2 eyes. And, you know, eventually I got really great control over my lazy eye. You know, I remember being in Albany at a bar, and if some guy that I wasn't interested in was hitting on me, I would like let my eye go out. He would be not interested anymore, which was really fun. And so when I was a kid, my cousins, 2 eyes, Becky. My cousins came up with this nickname, Becky 2 Eyes. Like this sort of like Italian like mobster, like, hey, Becky 2 Eyes, which is just so funny. And now a lot of my friends use that today, which is just hysterical. And I notice like it's still a little weak. Like if I'm driving and I have to look in the distance to read something, like one of my eyes is a little weaker than the other, so it'll go out, it'll wander. And I notice with this selfie stick, you know, I'm holding the camera out farther, and when I try to read it from far away, I'm like, one eye is just like gone. I think that's just so funny. So I was noticing this the other day when I started using the selfie stick for the first time, like, okay, there it goes. Becky 2 Eyes. And it's also why I close one eye without even realizing it. Because it's just, you know, my brain isn't using it. Thanks, Kosh! Ready? Round 2. I wish you were here with me. We could all be having tea. Woods tea and talk. Oh, Julie. I forgot that you made a comment I wanted to read. Julie, I have a 17-year-old now too, and it's been really awesome watching him spread his wings. I really enjoyed what you said as well. Good. That's great. Thanks, Julie. Oh, bye, Julie. Have a great day. Look at this hair. It's so funny. Do you need any other support? I feel like I want to sit here and have tea with you, but at the same time, I know just sitting here and watching me drink tea is not the most entertaining or supportive. So I'll give it 2 more minutes. If anybody has any other questions or wants any more support, go ahead and comment in. I'm here to love on you. If you haven't already joined our app, definitely check it out, beourcoven.com. I have free video trainings in there I teach a tarot class, intro to tarot, journaling, dream interpretation, crystal gridding. What else? I know there's more. Meditation, different methods of meditation that might work for you. There's also a tarot card library, which I find really supportive. It's got like 50 tarot card readings in there. And the way that it works is you like go into it and then you just scroll and you let your mouse land on something and you click it and you open it, and that's your tarot card reading for the day. And it's all from me. So some of them are video, some of them are written. I've gotten a lot of feedback on how supportive that's been. Oh, Kasha, can you remind us about Mary's webinar? Yes, Mary L. Houlihan. She is on the Instagram. I posted our video yesterday and linked to her. I don't know if she's on Facebook, but if you go to her page, you can sign up. It's a free webinar. I'm pretty sure it's a free webinar on Wednesday. I would definitely go. It's all about allowing, your ideas to come from a place of expansiveness of this is next for me, as opposed to that contracted, this will fix the problem. And just, my God, the value in that is incredible. Thanks for asking, Kasha. You're welcome, Amy. Good. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Let me know what you think when you join. You can private message me right in the app. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Blessed be.